Unmade bed. Good. Can't see my vibrators, can you? Okay. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm Fat Sajak, and you're not. Today's gonna be kind of noisy. Obviously my kids are home. They're downstairs watching some really annoying Disney Channel show, which is great. Great in a sarcastic sense because it's the most annoying show with the most annoying theme song I've ever heard in my life. And great in a sincere sense because that means the odds of me getting interrupted are probably still about the same, but with a little less tenacity. I did not make my bed for this. There are stacks of clothes. You'll live, okay? I promise. Also, it's gonna be noisy because I'm leaving my door open over here because it's hot outside. It's fucking June. Don't swear. It's hot outside because it's fucking June. And I also have my washer and dryer running. It does, in fact, seem like the optimal time to film a video. I'm really just working with the time that I have. Shut up, me. Why are we here today? Well, we're here today to talk about something fun, probably. I don't know. Today, I'm gonna do what used to be known in the business as a story time. And spoiler alert, I'm not great at telling stories. If you've been one of the people lately who's commented on how much I ramble on the pregnant pauses between my sentences and just the general slow pace of my videos, you might want to sit this one out. By the way, thank you so much for all that feedback. Listen, I can take the criticism, okay? But you have to understand that sometimes the cadence of my voice and the pregnant pauses, they're on purpose. I don't want to tell you to fuck off, okay? Because you're here for a reason. You might like my content, you just don't like the way it's delivered, and I get that. That's perfectly fine. But what we're not going to do is come to somebody's place of business and then tell them how to do their job. Do I show up to Burger King and tell you how to flip the burgers? I didn't think so, Janice. I do genuinely appreciate the feedback, though. So, why are we here? I'm here to tell you a story about the time I finally got to breathe the same air as one Martin Short. Now, we're going to go back a little bit. I'm going to try to tell this in the most linear way possible because I have difficulty with time because it doesn't exist. If you are new to this channel, you might not know that I have a long-standing love, lust, appreciation for, infatuation with Martin Short. In fact, you can go over the course of many lives, specifically lives, and moments in videos where I've referenced my love for Martin Short. Someone even asked my mom about it in a Q&A one time. I don't think anyone really realized as a kid I really did have a thing for Martin Short. Even then, I don't even know if I did. Something's going on with me. Anyhow, he's obviously been a recurring theme on this channel.
We get into the psychology behind your obsession with Martin Short. I think it's mostly just like daddy issues, you know, and like a very specific taste in men. I find people who are funny and like intelligent and like a very specific kind of funny and a very specific kind of intelligent are just simply attractive to me.
Exactly. You can't say 65 is old because Martin Short is older than that and he is my daddy husband. My emotional support, Marty. So naturally, when I found out that his tour with Steve Martin was coming to Colorado after many, many months of me complaining about how they weren't coming to Colorado because nobody comes to Colorado. Do you know that? I didn't know that before I moved here. None of the people I enjoy ever come to Colorado. The fuck? I was waiting and waiting and waiting. Sometime last year it was announced that they would be bringing their tour to Vail and Red Rocks. And both of those are far from me. But I would never let something like distance stop me from anything. That's not true. I don't even know why I said that out loud. That's not true. But it's not going to stop me in this case, right? So the tickets are released and they're really expensive. And I was like,
okay, well, these are more expensive than I thought they would be.
Maybe we'll wait it out. We'll wait it out a little bit. We'll get it closer to the day of the show. It's kind of weird with him there now. Don't ask why I have this, by the way. I bought it for a video a couple years ago. And it's just still there. So I thought to myself, we're gonna wait till closer to the date and then we'll get a ticket. Well, then I lost my day job. I got laid off in April, and that was rough. The show was on June 14th at Red Rocks, because I wasn't about to go to Vail. Please, what is this? That episode of South Park? No, that was Aspen. Never mind, I got nothing. So I decided I was gonna go to Red Rocks. I think most people know that Red Rocks is this stunning amphitheater here where it's just, there's no bad seat in the house and it's gorgeous and all of this, and I'm like, great. Sounds magical. I kind of like backburnered the idea of going in general because I was like, it's probably not going to work out. I'm probably not going to be able to spare the funds, really. Like, you know, it'd be one thing if it was just me and I'm, you know, by myself and all I have to worry about is me and my rent and this, that, and the other. But like, I've got kids, you know, and it's just me. They got to eat and shit. So, yeah, kind of figured it's probably not the best move. But because I'm a sadist, I decided to go to Ticketmaster.com because all of the like third-party sites were like wicked expensive. So I went to Ticketmaster just to see what was going on, and there was a resale ticket in the second row for $600. Well, it was $525 maybe, I think is what it was, but after all the fees and everything it came to $600. And I was like, ooh. Like in my brain I was like, that's not that bad for someone who's got their day job with multiple incomes, who doesn't have children. Yeah, maybe. But I couldn't justify it. But I was talking through it with my three of my very close friends who I love dearly, and basically I was just kind of like venting that. Like, I would love to go, but this is just not feasible. I just need to talk it out. Because like if I say that out loud, then I can make myself believe that it's true, and maybe I can keep myself from making a huge financial mistake. Because I was at the point where I was like, well, I've got like $5,000 worth of room on one of my credit cards. Like, what? This seems like the right financial decision. No. Now, I will say during this time, my friends were like, no, bitch, do it. You should do it. You deserve it. And I'm like, no, I know I deserve it, but I can't afford it. And that's the reality. So I woke up one morning and I said, if that ticket is still there, I will seriously consider buying it. So I opened up my laptop. I went to Ticketmaster.com. This is also not an ad for Ticketmaster. I typed in Steve Martin and Martin Short. I opened up the grid with the seating chart on it, and it was gone. And I was like, okay, that settles it. I know, I'm good, I'm okay.
Why is this fifth row seat only $250?
That's a feasible number. And then I couldn't justify that to myself. Like, fifth row is still very close. $250 is so much cheaper than $600. And then I started panicking. To me, in my brain, that really does sound like an inexpensive ticket for such a famous and beautiful venue, for an incredible show with two fucking legends. I'd be stupid to not. But then my brain was in like the realistic mode where it was like, no, we're not doing this. You are not spending, you know, at the end of the day it would be like $300 on a ticket for 2 hours. Like, we're not doing this. Even though I'm in a good financial position right now, every time I do something like that for myself, something a little selfish, a little naughty, a little extravagant for myself, something bad always happens. My car is fucked, or, you know, I have to, you know, pay out of pocket for something big that I wasn't anticipating. And I'm like, I just feel it in my bones that if I do this, that's what's going to happen. And I cannot afford to do that. I'm a very practical person, but I also have that like, you only live once mentality as well. And they get in fist fights in my brain. I also am pretty sure I have ADHD. Anywho, while I'm putting my kids to bed, I'm not paying attention to my phone, which will alert me as my group chat continues to send messages. In my group chat with my three good friends. And I pick up my phone and I see just like blurbs of things. And part of it is them asking for my Venmo. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? They all contributed and sent money to my Venmo and said, buy this fucking ticket. And I cried. I immediately cried. And then they also let me know that the price had gone down $50, so it was only $200 at this point. And they said, go, buy it now, you're going. And I did. I hated every minute of doing so. I don't like accepting, first of all, money from anybody, especially for something that is not like a necessity. And I think that's just something that's built into me personally. But I hate accepting gifts and compliments and things like that, and I don't do it well. So at that point, there was nothing I could do. I resigned myself to it and I bought the ticket, okay? I bought the 5th row ticket for $200 with the money sent to me by the 3 most generous people that I know, okay? Generous with a sh at the end. Now I'm in the mode, the ticket's bought, and I'm gushing over it with my friends, and I'm thanking them profusely, and I'm so honored, and I feel so many emotions that I will not project on here because I'm not an emotional person, but in this moment I allowed myself to get emotional with them, and I cried a bunch because it was a really, really nice gesture, and it was really sweet, and I knew that it also meant that I got to see Martin Short. I couldn't even let myself process the fact that I would be in the same space as Martin Short, because then my brain immediately went into anxiety mode. How to get there, the best way to get there, how much time I'm gonna need to leave to get there. I need to research the parking, of course, figure out what I'm gonna wear, all that good stuff. Show is at 8, my plan is to leave at 5 p.m. I live an hour and a half away. That would account for some traffic, and apparently the parking there, I had heard, through no specific terms, was a nightmare. I really wish I had more specifics on that. This would account for like concert traffic, would give me an opportunity to grab something to eat, even if it was just something in the car on the way, get my gas, and go. Get there with plenty of time so I can take pictures of Red Rocks, because I'd never been to, I'd been there one time, but never for a show. To take pictures of Red Rocks, get my seat, maybe have a drink, and just like take in the moment. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not at all what happened. Day of, I'm up here in my bedroom and I'm working. I was like, I want to get this work out of the way so that I can enjoy my night. And they were going with their dad for the weekend so that I can enjoy my night tonight, and then I would have all day tomorrow just to kind of do what I want. So I spent the majority of that Friday morning working. I worked till probably about 1 o'clock, and their dad was supposed to come around 4. I had texted him the night before just to make sure all our plans were copacetic. I was like, hey dude, same time tomorrow as last week? And he said, yep, which means between 4 and 4:30, which was perfect because I wanted to leave at 5. I'm thinking to myself, I'll do my makeup, I'll work through what I want to wear. After he picks them up, I'll do my hair, because then it'll be nice and fresh and it won't lose its curl or anything before I leave. And I'll grab my food, my gas, and I'll be on my way, and we'll get there with so much time, and I'm so excited. Because now I'm actually allowing myself to get excited. The anxiety is starting to taper a little bit because I'm sort of getting into the reality of the situation of all the things that like could go wrong or might go wrong or whatever. Nothing's gonna go wrong, because why would it? You know, you figured it out. You figured out where the best parking is. You know that you're gonna have a little bit of a hike. You're gonna dress yourself appropriately. There's a chance of rain tonight. You're gonna bring a hoodie. It's gonna be fine. It's 4:35. And no one has come to pick up your kids. I'm like panicking at this point. I've yet to really pick an outfit. I want something that's going to be cute but comfortable, something that I can walk in, something that'll keep me warm and not too warm, because Colorado weather is weird. By the way, this is not me like sitting here to trash my ex, okay? I just want to preface all this with this. I'm just giving you this for context. So I shoot him a text and I'm like, hey, where the fuck are you? Because like the kids have been waiting for you for some time, and you're making me late to a thing that I have to get to. He says, I'm still at work. And I said, what? First of all, you couldn't let me know in any capacity that you were going to be late? He says,
I'm finishing up. I can be there in 45 minutes.
And I said,
I need to leave in 25 minutes.
So I immediately burst into tears. At least let me know so that I can, you know, I could run them to my mom's real quick, or she could come to my house or whatever. So something so that I could, the children could be taken care of in some capacity and I could get to where I need to go on time. It's almost 5:30 and I'm like, I literally need to have left 30 minutes ago. Now I don't have time to eat. I barely have time to get gas. I hope fuck to God that I actually make it there on time. So it's 5:35. Again, I was leaving at 5 was my plan. It's 5:35 and he pulls up and give the kids a smooch, 2 smooches each, give them a hug, love you, see you Sunday, put them in the car and I fucking peel out before they even leave. I'm gone. I get gas and I get my ass on the road. It's like 5:45. By the time I get on the highway, it's 5:50. Rush hour traffic on a Friday on the big interstate in Colorado. I'm bagging ass. I'm getting there. I'm driving safely. I'm screaming to my friends and voice notes in the car just because I'm really frustrated at this point. And I'm driving and traffic is stopping and going and stopping and going. It's slow. It's fast. It's slow. It's fast. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. So I finally get to my exit to go to Red Rocks. And it's dead stop traffic. And I mean dead stop traffic. Like nobody's going anywhere. These lanes are all merging down to one, but nobody is going anywhere. And I'm like, okay, well that's pretty normal. It's concert traffic. It's 7:02. Show starts at 8. I'm panicking, okay, a little bit on the inside. Part of me is like, it's gonna be fine. You have an hour. You know, it's obviously not gonna start on the dot at 8. Nothing ever does. It's gonna be fine. Plus we're all in this traffic. We're all going to the same place. By the time I got to the stop sign to merge into the parking lots, I was about 3 cars back when a police officer turned his lights on, pulled around, and blocked off the entrance to those parking lots. It's 8:04. So I'm following the rest of the traffic because there's no other signs for like Red Rocks until you like get into the park, until you like get into the amphitheater part. There's really no signage. There's a big purple fucking pickup behind me that's trying to smash in front of me and I'm like, oh no, you picked the wrong Chicago bitch. Absolutely the fuck not. He got stuck. Nobody let his ass in. He was just sitting in the oncoming traffic lane because literally no one would let him in. And I took great pleasure in that after over an hour of sitting in concert traffic. I'm following this path of people who are all theoretically going to the same place I am, and I'm surely hoping so because if one of them takes a turn and I follow them and we're going the wrong way, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. At that point, I just go home. Following them all in, and finally there's some more signage that says Red Rocks Amphitheater this way, parking this way. So we're all following it up and finally I can see parking lots. I see them. They're right there. There's parking lots, real fucking parking lots where you can put your car in park, turn it off and get the fuck out. I'm so excited just to get the fuck out. I wanna go sit on a really hard stone bench and just fucking enjoy my evening that I deserve because I work so hard and I deserve a relaxing, lovely night for myself, and nothing about this night so far has been in any way relaxing. We're driving and we're passing these parking lots and I'm like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to get to our parking lot so I can remember where I park my car because I have severe paranoia about that. We're driving and the lady directing traffic says, just pull over here and park on the side. I said, what?
Park on the side of the road.
And I said, okay, we're gonna park on the side of the road. This place has like 500 parking lots, so we're gonna park on the side of the road. So she had me park on the side of the road, except everyone behind me, she had park in an actual parking lot that was farther down and closer to the next set of horrors. I get out of my car. I slam my door, I lock it, I make sure that it's there. I kind of try to take note of my surroundings because that's kind of impossible to do because the only thing around me are red rocks and grass and some other cars. So I'm following the crowd because obviously there's no signage for anything. By now it's 8:30 and we're all late. I mean, there's so many of us. There were so many of us in that traffic. So many of us got redirected. So many of us were there. It's crazy. So I'm listening to the guy that works at Red Rocks, or is at least doing the traffic there, and he says there was a huge crash that set back all the traffic, which is why there was so much stopped traffic. So much so that they actually had pushed the show back 30 minutes. Lucky for me, the show, which I could hear as I was walking, had just begun. So he says, to your left, you can take the ramp, which I've heard horrible things about the ramp, and that the ramp just kind of goes straight up and straight down. Or to your right, you can go the fast way, which is the stairs. And not me thinking that stairs to people who live in Colorado are not the same as stairs to people who are from the Midwest. If I can find a picture of the stairs in particular that I had to go up, I will put them here because when I tell you I'm not an unseasoned hiker, okay? I was anticipating this walk, okay? I am adjusted to altitude. I don't enjoy hiking, but I will do it on occasion. I'm not like I'm not someone who wants to go hiking, but I can hike and I will hike if I have to. When I saw these stairs, after all the uphill, after that whole car ride, after leaving late, I almost cried. And I could hear in the distance Martin Short's voice. And I wasn't hallucinating. It was actually happening because the show had started, right? So I can hear him and these roars of laughter, and I can hear Martin Short in the distance. And I thought to myself, I could just turn around and go home, but I'm not gonna, because I hear Martin Short and I've got a 5th row seat with my name on it that my friends fucking paid for. And if I leave this fucking venue not having seen Martin Short with my own 2 eyes, even if they don't focus on the same thing at the same time, I could just end it all. I actually made it up the flight of stairs. A lady scanned my ticket. I somehow came in on the correct side. Because if I had come in on the other side, I don't know how I would have feasibly gotten to my seat. Because my seat was right there. But if I came in on the wrong side, it would have been all the way the fuck over there. I know there and there aren't really good points of reference, but I think you get my drift. I think if you've been to a concert before, you'll get my drift. So I make my way into my seat, which isn't hard because Red Rocks, there's lots of space. It's very spacious. It's easy to walk through, get up, get back, get out, whatever. And there they are, right in front of me, clear as day. And I think to myself, I'm fucking sweaty and I wish I didn't bring this hoodie and I wish I could have a drink right now. I am so fucking hungry, and I also am so grateful in this moment to be right where I am. Now, I wasn't able, obviously, to take many pictures of the venue itself because by the time I actually got in there, I had missed about 8 to 10 minutes of the show, which is a huge bummer because I love show entrances, and also, like, that was a lot of money to pay for a seat to miss the first portion of a show. But nevertheless, if you've seen their Netflix special, it's the basis of the show is very similar. Like, there's like a through line of very similar bits, some identical bits, and then obviously whatever material that they've changed or added or taken out or whatever was wonderful. I was just happy to be alive in that moment. I took a lot of pictures. Most of them didn't come out well because their lighting plus an iPhone fucking 8, bad combo. But I had, you know, I got to see the Stepbrother to Jesus bit, which is one of my favorites. Most of my favorite things, aside from Stepbrother Jesus, I didn't film. Like, they do a Send in the Clowns bit, which is, I believe, is in the Netflix special. That one's one of my favorites. It was perfect. It was a perfect show.
This is your big funny bit. We have a family-friendly show, and you think this is so funny. But I'll tell you what offends me the most. What's the opposite of a camel toe?
It was amazing.
How do you replenish your creative vessel? And I said, really, can you just finish the prostate exam?
To be in the same space as Martin Short, who I have come here on several occasions and been like,
I love him. I want to have his babies.
I don't want to have any more babies, but you get the gist.
Fortunately, you're not going to live forever, and I thought that's too bad because you won't be able to hear the wonderful things I'm going to say at your memorial. So I took a little liberty and I wrote up a few things I would say at your memorial so you can hear them now.
Well, that is so ironic, because you know what? I did the same thing. I want your eulogy, too.
Well, let's read them, shall we?
And I wish that, like, the lead up to the story wasn't the story. If I had seen them in Chicago, okay, at a normal fucking venue, which, by the way, Red Rocks is gorgeous. It is the most beautiful venue I have ever been to in my life. And I wish I could show you pictures of that, but again, it was dark by the time I got there. At a Chicago venue, I would have been keen to slip out after the show, find the black car or the tour, you know, the tour bus, the stage door, essentially, and try to, you know, not accost anybody, but just to, you know, make my love known or whatever. Maybe have them sign a thing or two, or even just observe quietly, just stunned into silence. Either way, same difference. Because I didn't want to forget where my car was, and there was already a good chance that I would forget where my car was. I didn't, but there was a good chance that I would. I opted to not even try to investigate that at all. All in all, it was a really great experience. It was really wonderful. I'm so, so grateful that I have such incredible friends who love me enough to spend that kind of money to give me a night I won't soon forget. It was perfect. It was, even though it had imperfections, it was still perfect. And I thought you might want to know about it, so this is why I told you the story. One of my favorite parts is I intended on vlogging this experience. Like, my whole intention was to be like, oh, I'm gonna make a whole vlog out of this. We'll do vlogging getting there, getting ready, getting to the venue, and then I'll put in some clips from the show and some B-roll. We'll take some pretty footage of Red Rocks, and all I got was this. I thought I would vlog today because it's a very special day. I am going to see Steve Martin and Martin Short from the 5th row at Red Rocks. And I think I'm so overwhelmed that I'm not quite freaking out yet, but I am a little bit. So I thought I would vlog the day. The first part of my day is just going to be taking care of my kids until their dad comes to get them, because they're going to their dad's for the weekend. So you're probably not going to see much until a little bit later. But I have like the panic stress of like the things that I have to make sure that I get done. I've already looked and relooked and looked and relooked at like all the parking and all of that whole situation. I have surmised how long it's probably going to take me to get there. And it's definitely going to rain tonight. For anything else, it might just end up being on my phone, which also has really terrible sound quality. So I'm going to cut this off here. And I don't know what you're going to see next, but it'll be something. So, you know, the important thing is I tried. I hate the start of how everything went, but I loved how it turned out. It was really, really wonderful. Obviously, I've shared some pictures here. Again, iPhone 8, and it's a bad phone. I think that's all I wanted to say for now. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. Tell me what your favorite Martin Short movie is down below. Thanks so much for watching and listening to me ramble and tell stories in a very jumbled, obnoxious fashion. Bye. What is this? I decided to, what? Wow. Wow. In real time, that was scary. You know what I mean? What the hell is that? This is kind of awkward for me. Is it awkward for you? Do you know where your brain is? Being smashed against the wall with a frying pan. It's just how I talk, actually.